Ready?
Welcome to episode 89 of Humanized. Monique and I have been through so much hell trying to figure out how to work with our headphones and our microphones. At this point, Monique, I'm starting to feel like, should we really just go back to the studio?
Yes, I think we should.
Maybe for the finale,
Yeah.
because I have a producer who gave me a really great rate to tape in the house.
Oh, nice.
Maybe we should do a finale taping in 2 weeks at the house.
Yeah. Or you should just come here and you should use
I'm
my upstairs loft. Yeah.
in Vegas.
Yeah, because I have a nice big upstairs loft and we have so much room and there's so much stuff and you want to come here anyways and oh my God, it'd be so perfect. You should come.
Sure. I just need a bag of money. First of all, how have you been? Because this last week, it feels like it's been longer than a week since we last spoke.
It really does feel like it has been longer than a week. It really does.
I'm going to be honest, the last episode stretched me because I'm so used to doing the show in a fancy studio.
Yeah.
And I'm so used to doing any shows in studios, right? Like the studio I had was the most down to earth it gets for me. I'm used to doing things at iHeart. I'm used to doing things at Sirius. I'm used to doing things at Jason Lee's studio. So having to go from these fancy studios with millionaires to my little down to earth studio, now to my living room, it's been humbling. And so when I heard the audio last week, I was cringing so bad. My perfectionism was kicking my ass.
Oh.
The video was all blurry. I was like, oh no, I'm not doing the podcast no more. But then something was like, it's better to do something and perfect it on the way than to do nothing.
Absolutely.
Do you ever get an analysis
Absolutely.
paralysis?
All the time. But you know what? If you don't do it, it's not going to be out there. But you have to do it. These are the times that you have to push yourself to do it.
I
These are
guess.
the
I guess.
times.
So for those of you who are listening to us, we are going to figure out, Mo and I are going to have a conversation after this and figure out how to do audio that sounds decent because Zoom, I thought Zoom was the default setting, but Zoom audio is for some reason is trash.
Terrible.
But in the pandemic, we were all using Zoom in the pandemic. I thought it was like our savior during 2020 to 2023. Like, you think their quality went down because we all needed them so bad?
Yes, absolutely.
I
Yep.
have a feeling that when people feel like you need them, they treat you worse,
100%.
which I feel is going to tie into our Love Island conversation. But before we get into Love Island, there's a list of things I wanted to cover before we get into it. The first thing is Beyonce.
Yes.
So I was out and about with friends when one of them started screaming, "Oh my God, Beyonce!" I said, "What happened?" She said, "Beyonce, car accident." I said, "Excuse me?" Very
Absolutely.
dramatic. For those of you who are under a rock or a tree or a tilted car, Beyonce's flying car on her first night in Houston started to tilt, and she was not buckled in. She had a thing around her waist, but they said it wasn't snapped in.
Oh my
And so she
gosh.
she was literally kind of holding on allegedly, right? Because this is all
Hmm,
alleged.
hmm,
She was
hmm,
basically holding on for dear life
hmm,
as she was hoping not to plummet to her death.
hmm.
My question to you is, how did you feel when you saw the video? Because I still feel like I have PTSD.
I immediately went through like the mom in me is like my kids, my kids, my kids, my kids. Like that's what her mind is going through is like my kids, my kids, my kids, my kids. But it's also like her
Yeah.
perfectionism in her show, but she seemed like so like poised and like just stop, stop, stop. Like she just seemed very calm in that moment. And I
Yeah, that's trauma. That's a trauma response.
yeah, and I don't know if I
Yeah.
but that's also like her perfectionism too, right? Like she's a huge
Hmm.
perfectionist. Whoever
Perfectionism is also a trauma response.
whoever didn't strap her in, I know for sure didn't get on the bus that night.
Yeah.
So sorry to that man.
There's video of Mama Tina stomping around, like stomping as if she wants to beat someone's ass. And so I know that Tina's a Capricorn, Blue is a Capricorn, their manager, Beyonce's a Virgo, Jay-Z's a Sag. Everybody got cussed out. I'm very clear everybody cussed out. Here's the thing though, there's trauma responses that we don't really sit with that are very impressive. You know how they always talk about fight or flight?
Hmm.
They don't tell you about the other two. It's actually fight, flight, freeze, or fawn.
Mm.
Beyonce and I are both high functional freezers.
Mm.
So when things are blowing up and I'm freaking out, I actually look incredibly calm and impressive and professional.
Mm.
I disassociate, right?
Mhm.
But it's
Mhm.
also part of me having autism, and I'm not going to say my anything about my suspicions that Beyonce is neurodivergent. Although, if you go on TikTok, there are long and lengthy threads about why she's clearly stimming. But let me not get too much
Mhm.
into that.
Right.
So, as someone who I believe to be neurodivergent, watching her do that while everybody else was applauding, I was like, this is why we never grow from our trauma responses because they get applauded. People
Right.
are impressed
Right.
by stoic trauma responses.
Right.
Like she has a lot of PTSD she probably has from her career, but she'll
Right.
never let you see her sweat. And so my question is, what do you think about a world that says soft girl life and it's okay not to be okay, but in the next breath always claps for us when we do the opposite?
Mm. Oh.
Right. I posted that question on
Oh.
my Instagram and people were freaking out. Why do you look stressed?
Oh, because that's stressful. It's like, what do you want from us? I'm trying not to move so much because this audio. I'm like, I
Well, don't
talk
worry
with my
about it.
hands. It's like, what do you want? Like, what do you want from us? How can
Yeah.
we be both?
Here's the thing. When people were saying, I'm happy Beyonce's alive, well, duh, we're all happy
Yeah,
Beyonce's
right,
alive. But
right,
the hyper focus on her grace, it made me uncomfortable only because as an EQ coach, I know how much that sort of grace costs us.
right,
Yeah.
right, right. Like for me,
It's
it's
tricky.
fear. That's fear. That's
Yeah.
fear. But also, it's like she puts herself in this, like, you're in a flying car every night.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And of
Or a
course,
flying
there's that.
horseshoe. Right.
Right, right, every night. And of course there's always, something could go wrong, something, but you hire people to make sure that it doesn't, right?
Yeah.
But still, there's that thought in that moment like, oh shit, tonight's the night something could go wrong. And it's
Well, they
going wrong.
say she does it. They say she does it because of the people in the nosebleeds.
Right, right.
They're saying she flies through the air because she wants to make sure that people in the nosebleeds get a moment of being near her or feeling like they're near her.
Yeah.
I think for me, what's been tricky is the things that we call professional often cause long-term psychological damage.
Mm,
And
mm,
so, yes, I know she's a performer and she has to be professional. I also know as an EQ coach, there's a price that we all pay for our professionalism. Those
yeah.
moments where the standards are superhuman, but you're still a person.
Right, right.
And you have to just kind of perform. And also her kids always being there, her kids and her husband and her family being.
That's a lot.
If Beyonce had passed away, God forbid, knock on wood, I hate even saying those words. My first
Right.
thought before I knew she was okay was this would be another Kobe for us.
Yeah,
It would have been
right.
another Kobe. And
For
her
sure.
and her almost passing away, even the thought that she could have plummeted to her death, the audience members who saw my post, a lot of them were in the comment section saying, I was there, we were screaming and crying and hoping she was okay. And I'm like, yo, they're not okay.
Mm-mm.
If I was in
Mm-mm.
that audience, I'm not sure I'd be okay.
Mm-hmm.
Whew, okay, well,
Mm-hmm.
prayers to Beyonce and to whoever got fired. I know we'll never find out who it is. And because
Mm-mm.
Beyonce has a sense of humor, she posted a video, a montage of her almost plummeting to the song Tippin'. And I just thought that was sick and also brilliant. That's
Tipping
some
on
dark humor.
Cocos. That is dark humor.
Yeah, yeah, that
Yeah,
is
it's a
it's
very
a little
laugh at my
sick.
pain moment. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's also another trauma response, laugh
Mm-hmm.
to keep from crying. So
Mm-hmm.
I think for me, what I'm realizing is you never know when your last day is. And just
No.
because you're 35, 39, maybe even 40, you're like, oh, I still have another 40, 50 years. You might only have next week. If you had to choose, this is gonna sound a little morbid. If you were told right now that you only had a single week to live, seven calendar days, what would you do with that week?
Oh, spend it with my family. Just spend it with my family.
You wouldn't leave the house. You would just have them all in the house just staring at them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
would get on
agree.
a plane and go lay next to my mama for a week.
Yeah. Yeah. Just
Yeah.
be with them. That's it.
I might
Because,
also eat all the stuff that I had meant to eat on special occasions.
yeah. And that's it. Like, give me all the food. Give me all the
Food
food.
and family. So if me and Monique
Exactly.
had 7 days to live, we would just be eating and hanging out with our families.
Exactly. That's it.
Would you leave? Would there be any apologies? Is there anybody that you think that if you really knew that it was about to be the end, you would feel the need to either apologize to or have that a courageous conversation with?
No,
Me either.
no. Mm-mm. I think I done did that already.
What does that say about us? I actually have no regrets. As that cat,
No.
yeah. If we're not
Mm-mm.
talking, I'm very okay with the reason why we're not talking.
Same.
Even if I miss you, I'm okay with how I showed up.
Hmm. Same.
Is there anybody? No, I don't think I have. That's interesting now that I think about it. I don't think I have any regrets. I just have plenty of things that I still want to do.
Same. Same.
Is that normal? Because I feel like a lot of people, by the time they get to their late 30s, they have a lot of regrets.
Yeah, I think they do too. I just have, like you said, I just have things I want to do.
Yeah. What's on the
Like,
top of your list of things that you really, really want to do?
I just want to travel more. Like, that's like my
Really?
big thing. Yeah, I just want to travel. I just want to like go. Just want to
I think you
live.
should do it.
I
For
do.
me, it would be probably writing my book because I've been wanting to write a book since I was 8 years old.
Yeah.
I'm much older than 8 now. So a couple of Monique, shut up. She's like, yeah, bitch.
No,
Okay,
I'm just
several.
like, I'm much older than 8 now.
I mean, in case anybody's wondering, and so like
Even just a little.
just a little bit older than 8, barely, just barely. Okay, I'm not as a baby, and so for me, as young as I am, I really want to write my book. It's so funny. Growing up, they always called me a child prodigy. And I'm like, well, did I get lost in the shuffle? Because I don't feel like in my brain I'm still a child prodigy.
Yeah,
Can you be a middle-aged child prodigy? Is that a thing? If you just
absolutely. If you want to be, sure. I
That's
can,
called the
yeah.
Lulu. You
We
know what
can
you
live
sound like?
there.
You sound like Olandria. Speaking of delusion, we're gonna yo. If you look up delusion in a book, actually, the word for Olandria is not delusion. You guys know I love to do a little bit of EQ coaching whenever I go. The word that I want everybody who can hear the sound of our voices to look up is limerence. What Olandria is going through is a thing called limerence. It's when you have a one-sided crush on someone based on what they represent, not on who they actually are.
Mm. Say it again for the people in the back. Repeat that one more time. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Say it slower.
Alandria,
Say it
Alandria
slower.
is going through something called limerence. Limerence, limerence,
Limerence.
limerence. Yeah, and it's often where you have a crush on somebody you admire or somebody who represents something for you, but it's not about them at all. Because if we're really honest, the guy that she has a crush on is not much to be admired. But we're gonna get to that in a second. Before we pivot to the Love Island conversation, because I feel like everybody and their mother right now is either talking about Iran or Love Island.
Hmm.
Those are the only two things I see. I
Yes.
know that you said that you were working with some vets. I wanted to hear a little bit
Yeah.
more about that.
Yeah. Well, I'm actually like, my husband and I are getting more and more a part of like a golf group out here that we're a part of.
Oh, in Vegas?
Yeah. So we're like, we're working with like veterans. Like we get together and we golf. So it's been really fun and therapeutic, and it helps with like my anxiety and just,
Wait,
some.
how? Mo, how did you start go to move to Vegas on me behind my back? And now you're doing golf with veterans. Explain to me how this happened.
Well, it just through like the VA. So they have like a lot of programs out here for veterans, disabled
Oh.
veterans. So we just kind of like got like randomly ran into them at a golf course one day, and we just started golfing, which is really nice, and it helps a lot with my anxiety. So yeah, we've just been like meeting up with them and hanging out, and I just sit in the golf carts with you know, retired old men, and we talk and golf
Wait,
and
wait, wait, wait. How often do you golf?
once a week.
A year ago, me and you were running through the streets like we ain't had a care, and now you in the okay. You know what? When your
Now
friends leave you,
I'm
okay, that's
I'm riding through the streets with my woes, but they're different woes.
that's wild. That is wild. You see how quickly things change. You're wearing golf shorts and like yelling four and shit while I'm still going to everyday people getting drunk. Well, one of us had to grow up. Golfing? What, were you golfing before this and you just didn't tell me?
No, it's when Richard like tore his ACL. So when he tore his ACL when we were in LA,
Uh,
that's kind of like what I did was the switch. And then I was like, well, I'll try it. Like, 'cause my dad's really, really, really into golf. So I was like, I'll try it. Like I love to play sports. I thought it was dumb. And then I actually like got into it and I like it. It's fun.
Are you good
So
at it?
no.
Oh, well, there we go.
Well, I'm getting better because like we go to like lessons, like they like teach us for it's all through the VA. So like they teach us and like remember fixing my swing and so
What's
I'm
the
getting better.
allure of golf? Is it the stillness? Like, because to me, it's
Yes,
boring to watch. What's the allure?
it's that's what I thought too. It's super fucking boring. Like everything about it was boring. I'm like, this is the dumbest sport ever. It's an individualized game. So it's just you
Mm-hmm.
versus you, right? It's it's pressure on yourself, but it's like, okay, how am I going to challenge myself today? How far can I hit it today? Am I going to get it in there? Can I put it in there today? But it's just like stillness. It's like you, nature, and a golf ball.
Oh, wow.
So it is.
I
It's
like
very,
stuff like that.
yeah. And like, it's fun. Like, if you do go, like, they have like girls that go around, and like, if you want to drink, there's people that come around with drinks. And like, it could be fun like that too, which is, people do all the time. It's fun like that, but.
Wait, can you golf alone, or does it have to be a group? Like somebody has to be driving you around?
You could do it, but they'll usually pair you up. So like you could do like two, four, but you could go by yourself. Yeah.
That's interesting. I might look in. I feel like golf is for people who are either old or rich or both.
Yep. Because it's an expensive sport.
Yeah. So, but the VA is
Mhm.
helping finance that.
Yeah, yeah. So actually, we're actually like doing this thing to where we go to like so many classes, we get
Uh-huh.
like a PGA card. So then once we get a PGA card, we can go to any course and get like discounts because the VA paid for it, and like we get our own PGA card and get discounts at any PGA course for free.
That is so amazing. There's three groups of people that I know who always get discounts that I'm envious of, and that's teachers, cops, and veterans.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, all three of you are in the trenches.
Yeah, yeah,
so,
for sure,
so
for sure,
I,
for
I was a
sure.
substitute teacher for a one calendar week.
Mm-hmm.
I think the reason why I didn't go back, they liked me. I didn't like them. I had no. I've been a teacher twice. I once was teaching at a summer program for
Yeah,
a week, and then I
yeah,
once taught at a DC public school as a substitute teacher for a week.
yeah.
I was cussing them little motherfuckers out. Like it was like imagine if like Maya Angelou and Samuel L. Jackson like
Had a baby.
combined. That was me. I was a good teacher, but I will cuss you the fuck out. And I was like, yeah,
Mhm.
I'm not meant to be a teacher. The tism was whooping my ass.
You say,
Yeah.
yeah, no.
Because teenagers like to crack jokes and I can crack them back.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So now
You're
what?
quick with it. Quick with it.
And now they're like, oh no, Miss Blue, one boy cried. He was a bully, then he was crying. I was like, why are you crying? I thought it was funny when you were talking. They're like, you actually can't do that to the children. I said, oh, well. So yeah, I can't be a teacher. I definitely can't be a veteran. I don't know. I have no country. And what else is left? No, seriously, there's a country I came from. I can't go back there. There's a country I'm in. Not sure I like it here either. Like it's why I like to travel. I will
Mm-hmm.
say this though, I've recognized that black and brown people, unless they're conservative, and tell me if you've seen this, we have a very complicated relationship to the American flag.
We
I was
do.
watching even veterans that are black
Mhm.
and brown have a
Yeah.
complicated relationship to the American flag. Because I was
Yeah.
watching a British show the other day, and we love to wear those army jackets or whatever, and they'll have like British things on them. Like we love the British flag as like a fashion statement.
Right.
It almost doesn't feel like it doesn't actually have to do with England. We just like how it looks. But when you wear an American flag, it's tricky
Mm-hmm.
because you're proud of whatever ecosystem you built in this country
Mm-hmm.
while you also don't like fuck with the like it's how do you feel as a veteran about the American flag who's actually a person of color and a woman?
Um. Uh,
Ooh.
mm.
Mm-hmm. Words.
So,
For those who are listening, Monique's face cracked. Go ahead.
yeah. So I don't have any.
Mm-hmm.
Don't own one.
Mm-hmm. It's
Don't wear
tricky.
any. Yeah. I don't. Yeah, it's tricky. It's very tricky. The only one I probably, ooh, I don't even want to say that.
See?
That's dark. That was gonna get really dark really fast. Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's here's the thing too. It's because
hard.
And I think I mentioned this at the last pod, the one that I didn't post the video of because well, you look beautiful. I looked crazy. But Monique and I represent all the people who are being deported because the top two countries being deported are Haitians and Mexicans. And so knowing that I love so much what I've built in this country, and also knowing that my people had a heavy hand in building this country, whether people want to admit it or
Mhm.
not,
Mhm.
and knowing that we stole parts of this country from your folks,
Mhm.
we on stolen land right now, right? It's interesting when you know that you have a vested interest ancestrally, right, in a
Yes.
country that is still saying fuck you all the time and trying to pick on you,
Yes.
but you're still making the country a better place with your contribution.
Yes.
You do it through being a veteran, I do it through education, but it's still fuck you. So it's like we're in an abusive relationship with America. Can we just say that?
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
We're in an abusive relationship with America. I do want to ask you though one last question.
Yeah.
Um, do you think that the current president is going to finish his entire term? Damn.
Um,
Not what you hope. What do you think? Because I know what I hope.
oh, I I mean, I saw the video of him unveiling his new, it was like a 2028 hat he had. Did you see that?
No, that's horrible.
Yeah, in his office, he was like touring someone and he like behind a curtain, it had a layout for like his 2029 or 2028, 2029 hat. So, which
Oh,
means he plans to run again, which means he plans to change the Constitution.
oh, he already said he planned to do that since the first
Yeah,
election, but like he might
so
actually do it.
do I think he's going to finish his term? Um, yes.
Okay. Well, good talk. For those of you who are listening, my face, I like now my face is cracking. The reason why I want to make sure we talk about this is because I don't think it's a coincidence that Love Island has become so popular while all this is happening because we all need a distraction, but then Love Island's also pissing us the fuck off.
We can't win. We can't win. We're getting fucked on both sides.
We really are.
We really are. We just want to escape. We
But we're
can't.
escaping into a hellscape.
We literally are. I don't understand
So let's get
why.
right into it. Let's get right into it. For those of you who do not watch Love Island, we will do our best to talk about general themes in order
Yes.
to make sure that this is accessible because this is a study in human nature, which is why I feel to me, I like reality shows because I'm a social anthropologist.
Hmm.
I like to study human behavior and also see how our mores and our customs kind of like evolve over time. And
Yeah.
nothing tells me more how fucked we are than watching American reality shows. The only thing that gives me hope is the Koreans. Korean and Japanese reality shows are so fucking lovely, even the ratchet ones. The Korean version, or is it Korean or Japanese? I think it might be Japanese. The Japanese version of Love Island, if you want to regulate
So
your
good.
is Singles Inferno. Singles
Mm.
Inferno is the Japanese version of Love Island. It's on Netflix. I binge watched all the seasons. It brings my blood pressure down. Even their drama is wholesome. Have you watched Singles Inferno?
Nope. I literally just wrote it down. No, I have not.
I think they're like 4 seasons in. Their version of sexy is so kind and wholesome. She'll be like, "Oh man, I really want to talk to him, but he's not serious about his career. I might have to talk to Jung Ho instead." And I'm just like, "Oh my god, bitch, really? That's so lovely." Like, oh, look at Ming Su. She's so fair. Oh God, but she's, she's really ambitious, and I feel like she might want a man who has more ambition. I might not be good enough for her. I'm like, oh, Hung Do, don't say that. Like,
No.
it's really nice. It
Oh,
really is. And mind you, I usually don't like wholesome. I usually find wholesome boring, but it's like a good kind of wholesome.
oh, we need a palate cleanser, huh?
But they're also all models and wearing bikinis, so there's that too.
Okay, okay, okay.
So
Well,
yes, if you're looking for a Love Island palette cleanser, please watch Singles Inferno on Netflix. Highly, highly recommend for those of you who are hardcore reality fans. It is the antidote to what we're about to talk about. I will say this right now. Um, Huda, anybody who doesn't even watch Love Island knows that Huda is a character. Huda makes me sometimes feel like a misogynist because of all the times I want to yell bitch like Too Short when I see her on screen. But I'm
well,
gonna try to go ahead.
I'm not interrupting you. Mm-mm.
Yeah, so there is a thing that I want to point out. Huda is dangerous because she's toxic in a way that unless you are emotionally intelligent, have lived some life, or have gone through therapy, you might fall for her shit.
Yes.
I've seen so many people who should know better defending her because they literally can't see what she's doing. And to me, the word dangerous is now in play. So we will say this: Huda is the one who was calling people all sorts of pussy ass bitches and screaming and yelling, "You's a bitch! You's a put, you're not a man.
You a bitch. This
You a
bitch.
bitch. You a
Bitch
bitch."
this.
And she was called women bitches, men. Everybody was a bitch. Okay.
Everyone was a bitch.
So the thing about Huda is, and this is a thing that heard from Hannah. There was a young lady named Hannah who got voted off the same week as Jeremiah. Hannah went on a podcast and said that Huda became obsessed with America hating her after that infamous vote that separated her and Jeremiah. And that she's not surprised that Huda has made a shift because she's obsessed with making America love her. Now, what happens when a demon tries to pretend to be an angel? Right? It's
The
giving big
mask.
Lucifer energy. So a lot
Mhm.
of people are falling for Huda's redemption arc. My first thing is, Monique, did you fall for her redemption arc?
No. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
What
I have
stopped you from falling from it? What stopped you?
because I have been through therapy. I have emotional intelligence and I see right through her. There's cracks. There's always cracks in the things
Yeah.
that she says, and there's little nuances in the things that she says. And if you
Yep.
can pick up on it, you can pick up on it. But if you're right there and you're not thinking about it, which a lot of people aren't, and
Mm-hmm.
I have now on mine, I'm a Huda hater. It's like, no, I picked up on the nuances. I'm not a Huda hater. There's just the nuances or the cracks. And
What's so funny is I've agreed with your husband on almost every take he's had. So last night when he said Huda didn't do anything wrong, it broke my heart. But then
oh girl.
it's working. She's dangerous. And here's the thing, I want to explain for people what happened. Huda made it clear that anybody who calls themselves her friend cannot go overboard having
Mm-hmm.
any kind of mouth to mouth resuscitation
Mm-hmm.
with her boyfriend during, not
Mm-hmm.
even her boyfriend, a
Mm-hmm.
guy that she's been dating for 3 days during a
Mm-hmm.
challenge, right? So if we have a challenge and we have to tongue each other
Ever.
down, don't kiss my man. And if you do, make it real cute like he's your brother. So Huda made it clear that to her, if you respect me, I'd prefer you not to go overboard, even in challenges with my man. As a result, Shelly, Olandria, Sierra, all the BIPOC girls made it a point to
Mm-hmm.
be real cute, if not completely avoidant, when it
Mm-hmm.
comes to her man. Now, Olandria was the best kisser in the villa. So everybody tongue kissed Olandria because apparently she got a magical mouth, right?
Mm-hmm.
But Shelly,
Mm-hmm.
who's also in a serious situationship with Ace, she was like, I
Mm-hmm.
don't even know what Jeremiah's mouth tastes like. I avoided him like the plague. And every time
Mm-hmm.
I did, Huda would walk up to me and say, thank you for the respect. So my thing is, if you've told all of us for a month now, which feels like 6 months when you're in a reality show,
Yep.
that respect means that even in a challenge, you leave my man alone.
Yep.
When you are now single and down and out, why did you put your pussy lips on my man's face?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, guys, I'm not being raunchy. There are still shots
Literally.
showing that the producers cut out the part where Huda sat on this on Shelly's man's face.
And Shelly said, is your heart rate up? Is your other rate up? So that's alluding to the fact that not only was his heart rate up, but he also got up in other places. Yes.
Yeah, there's a lot of speculation that he had a boner. And so
Yes.
and then when Huda stopped and saw that Shelly wasn't falling for it's just a challenge, she looked at her and said, it's just a game, right? It's just a game, right? Using the line that never worked on her.
Exactly.
And everybody was like, but why are y'all mad at Huda? She redeemed herself and it's just a game, it's just a challenge.
It
I'm
was
gonna
never.
read I'm gonna
Go
read
ahead.
something that I wrote on threads because I was trying to find words for, in your words, the cracks. For me,
Mm-hmm.
when Huda tried to apologize to Shelly said, you know what? I'm so angry, I don't trust what I'm gonna say to you right now. Let's talk in the morning.
Oh, I already know what you're about to say because I wrote that down too.
My first thing is the edit of the first look makes it look like Shelly was just being a mean girl.
Yes,
What do you think about
absolutely.
the edit that didn't put in the part where she says, "Let's talk in the morning"?
Because they want to get them riled up against, make her look like the angry black girl.
Yep.
The
When
angry
she was very
was
calm.
not. She was. She was very calm and she was using her emotional intelligence, saying, you know what? I would prefer not to talk to you now because I don't want to say something I don't mean.
Yeah. Here's the thing too. I will say this: Huda called people bitches for a month, and her page was fine. Shelly just saying, "I don't want to talk to you" to the morning. The hate and racism was so bad they had to shut down her comment.
Mm-hmm.
So
She was
a
getting
black
death
woman
threats.
being calm is getting death threats. A black woman being calm is getting death threats. But the
Mm-hmm.
Arab girl yelling bitch, 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 everything but the N word. Oh, she's just emotional. She's just Arab. That's just how Arabs are.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about that? Because I honestly, there is a anger that I feel in the pit of my stomach from watching how Shelly's being treated for the first time that she's ever lost her cool the entire
Mm-hmm.
season without raising her voice. That's
Mm-hmm.
blowing my mind. What does it look like to you from the what do you think that play right now?
I'm angry because she's being she's all of this hate because she's not allowed to have feelings.
Yeah,
And she's just expressing her feelings.
yeah,
Mind you, we've had Hurricane Huda since day one, but it's
yep.
been okay. But the one time she's Shelly is expressing her feelings, it's a problem. But we can't, it's not okay to protect her as a black woman. No,
It's
that's not
not.
okay. That's not okay.
Do you think Huda's tears? You think the fact that Huda literally did a 69 on Shelly's man and then started crying and saying sorry is why people feel like Shelly's being a bully because Huda crying should be all it takes for help for Shelly to forgive her?
Huda always cries. She uses her tears as weapons, the same way she uses I
Yeah.
love you as a weapon. She uses
Yeah.
that to manipulate people. And the one person she does it on the most is Amaya because Amaya is an empathist. That's the only reason, her real friend in there. Oh, but
Yeah.
let me.
Amaya has something. I want to know what her diagnosis is. I will say
Yeah.
this. When Shelly says let's talk in the morning, Huda seems angry. How dare you inconvenience me by not absolving me immediately? And the
Yes.
next morning, she
Hmm.
says, I'm not gonna talk to Shelly. I tried. She can come to me. First of all, bitch.
But also that night, she told Amaya, I'm not, she doesn't want to talk to me. I tried talking to her. No, 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 that's not what she said. I don't want to talk to you tonight
Exactly.
because of what I would rather wait until tomorrow, basically, so I can cool off. But that's not what you went and said. What you went and said is she doesn't want to talk to me, period.
Do
Baby,
you know
that's not
what
what she said.
I think the thing that made me realize how nasty Huda really is, 'cause I already knew she was nasty, but she's worse than I thought, is that night when the challenge happened, everybody looked appalled, including Chris. For those of you who don't watch the show, Chris was the guy that Shelly had a really great connection with when she was in a different house, because there's two houses where they
Mm-hmm.
test your love.
Mm-hmm.
When Huda found out that the guy that she thought was gonna pick her, they didn't have chemistry, and he would later say that Huda did things to him that were disrespectful. He said that Huda talked to him crazy. That's why he actually had that moment with her. Huda then said, "Well, the only other black man who is tall and attractive is the one that Shelly's talking to." And she
Mm-hmm.
went to Shelly and said, "I'm gonna choose him for you so that you can explore your connection with him."
Mm-hmm.
So, and Shelly's like, how are you pretending like you chose the guy I'm dating to help me out? But the minute we all got back to the villa, you're all over him. Clearly, you chose him for yourself. Had you said that, I would have had to respect that because that's the game. But you lying and being two faced and pretending it's for my benefit while secretly competing with me, that extra layer of fuckery is some snake shit. And so when she said
Yeah.
that, I was like, okay, so I didn't see that conversation, but I'm happy you called that out. The next morning, because he still likes Shelly, brings Shelly pancakes. And Huda said the infamous line, "You brought her two pancakes, you only brought me one. What the fuck?" Then she said to him, "Everybody's mad at me because I was too sexy. Would it be easier if I was ugly?"
And she told the girls that she brought him back for her, not Shelly. That was the one she wanted, not for Shelly. But that's not what she told Shelly. That's not what they have on camera. That's not what we got to see.
Yikes. So Hood is a pathological liar, and yet somehow everybody's mad at Shelly.
So everyone's mad at Shelly. It's like you can't you can't have it both ways, babe. You can't.
There's two things I want to read today. The first thing I want to read is my assessment of Huda, and I said Huda's the kind of pick me who swears she loves her girls as long as her perception that men prefer her is intact. But if any other woman in the room is more desired than her, all of a sudden the fangs come out, but don't call her out on it or she'll start crying. At this point, anyone defending her behavior is either naive, lacks EQ, is a mean girl too, or is harboring the very sorts of racial bias that she's banking on. That last part, I don't think it's a coincidence that even though Huda calls everybody a bitch when it comes to her man or her perceived man, she
Mm-hmm.
always seems to be shocked when a black woman is in any way preferred to her.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Even when she said, "Oh, I don't mind my man kissing Olandria." Oh, wait, he actually likes kissing that black bitch. Now, hold on now. Like it almost feels like in her mind, so many black men have gassed her up to think that they don't like us. That she always thinks, well, if it's a black man with a black woman, I can always break it up. There's something when I talk about interracial relationships and why I don't think it's fair to think they're all the same. She's the perfect example of the kind of bitch I don't think should be representing everybody else.
Yes, 100%.
I know so many interracial
100%.
couples that have no Huda's insight. It's what do you feel as someone in an interracial relationship watching Huda? Because I would be like, bitch, you're making us all look bad. Stop.
Stop.
She scares me,
Stop.
Monique.
Scared. She's scary.
What
Scary.
what do you think about men's reactions to Huda? What have you seen? Be honest and tell us what kind of men too. Go. I want to hear
Mm.
it.
Mhm.
hmm
Mhm.
hmm
Because there's some
Well, there's
that
there's
are,
the one motherfucker that we both know in the industry that I had to block.
yeah, I'm getting very close to it. Because why do you always seem to be on the wrong side of like the good, but yet you say like you're always on the wrong side, sir. Why are
Yeah,
you always, why do you, not just of me, but like always on the wrong side?
always.
That's interesting. Um, but I digress. I was really about to just let it all out, but that was,
What's been the reaction of the men that you've seen?
I had
Because
to reel it
for
in.
me, for me, gay men and academics
Get
understand
it.
what's happening. When it
They're
comes to
because
men,
they're
gay men and
confident.
academic men are on our side.
Hmm.
I'm concerned about a lot of the others.
Yes.
Even your husband, for honestly, he's been really good.
Yeah, he's been great. Last night, him
Yeah.
and I had like, even today, we were talking about it. And for him, he was just, his thing was this: if Shelly could go back and kiss Chris twice in the challenge, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was like, he doesn't see what Huda did was wrong. That's what he was saying. Her dancing on Ace wasn't wrong. I'm like, that's not what Shelly is mad at.
That's not the
That's
issue.
not
Yeah.
that's not the issue. What Shelly is mad at is girl code. What she's doing, how she's playing it, that's what
She
she's mad
held them
at.
hostage to a certain standard that she's not living
Yes,
by
that
herself.
she's not living up to. That's what she's mad at. That's what she's upset about. And the fact that she held it down from day one, you don't want me to kiss your man on day two, day three, day four, you just met him. Cool, I got you, girl. Don't trip. I got you. I got you. But now here it is, week four, and you're pulling my man.
And
Also
sitting on his face.
challenges challenges are meant for you to do things with people that you have interest in.
Yep.
Why are you pulling my connection? That's what it is. You cross the line with me. And Shelly is a very cool, calm, and collected person. So for her to be like, you crossed the boundary, you crossed the boundary. For her to be like, if you look the edit, Shelly had already gotten up. By the time Huda got up, she was sitting down.
Yeah.
So the edit was an edit. So she had probably been sitting down for some time. So it's like
Yep.
that's what the issue is. Like, girl, you doing too much. And I want to say this. I found on threads that someone said that her and Huda were friends, And Huda done slept with her man, and that's why Huda doesn't have friends, because she does sneaky stuff like that. So
That doesn't surprise me.
this isn't an out of character thing for her to do. So it's like, yeah,
Yikes.
she does move like this. So it's like, this is just kind of who she is, but it's just showing it all at once.
You don't think it's interesting that the minute Chris made it clear that he still had feelings for Shelly and gave her 2 pancakes and Huda one, all of a sudden Huda's crying to him about Shelly and coercing him into picking her?
Oh no, her using her tears again as a weapon.
That scene where she convinced him through tears and low key dirty macking, what we used to call it back in the early 2000s, she was dirty macking, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
For the kids who don't know what dirty macking is, it's You Should Let Me Love You by Mario.
Mm-hmm.
It's when you talk so much shit about the other person, you're cock blocking them so that you become the only prize available.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
She coerced that man through tears and making Shelly look like an angry black woman through lies until
Yeah.
he said, "Fine, I'll leave Shelly alone and only focus on you."
Yeah. And he's actually a really good person, because we have mutual. So he's a really good person.
I've
So
heard nothing but good things for him, but the way that he fell
yeah.
for it, he might be a good person, but he's not a mature person. There's a lack of
Mm.
emotional maturity it takes to fall for that.
Mm-hmm.
You can be good and immature at the same time.
Yeah, 100%.
How old is
Yeah.
he?
Oh, child.
Is he in his 20s or 30s?
I think he's in his 20s.
Okay, so he's supposed to be immature
Yeah,
because
yeah.
no man of integrity and
Mm-hmm.
maturity, because you can have integrity and be
Mm-hmm.
immature so that you don't know what your blind spots are, right?
Right,
But no
right,
man who's mature and has integrity would have let her do that.
right,
It
right,
was so transparent. And the
right.
thing about Huda is, and this is what makes me nervous, and this is going to sound controversial because nobody said this. I think, how do I say this nicely? I've never said this out loud because I just had this thought. I think Huda and Sierra are the same person on different pages.
Different font. Someone else said
Yeah.
that online.
Oh, really? I haven't seen anybody say this
Yeah,
because
someone else said that.
Sierra, every time Sierra's scared, she throws pussy. Every time Huda is scared, she throws pussy. And so Sierra will always let Nick have 38 seconds of sex with her whenever he shows an interest in somebody else. Huda will always literally like bounce her ass cheek on someone's face or their penis whenever she feels like she's not the most desired woman in the room. To me, it's the same psychosis, but Sierra just got the you're part of the group versus you're not part of the group. Sierra
Mm.
almost feel, and even last time we spoke, you were like, "Well, Sierra has emotional intelligence," and my ears pinged, and I didn't want to correct you. I don't actually think Sierra has emotional intelligence. I think Sierra reads TikTok a lot and knows language. Having
Maybe,
language and having EQ,
maybe.
I've never thought she had emotional intelligence. I actually thought she was fraudulent from the beginning.
Maybe, maybe.
She's more covert. I think Sierra is a more covert and less deregulated version of Huda. I think if Huda got therapy, she'd be Sierra halfway through.
Maybe.
She'd have to keep going though, right? She'd have
Yeah,
to.
right,
They both need to keep going to therapy if they've ever even gone to
right,
therapy. But to me,
right.
Sierra is nothing but like the caveman evolution of Huda. But neither of them has become a human woman first yet. It's like a less hairy monkey version. Look, I'm not making a monkey joke. I'm black though. I feel like I can, but I'm not. I'm just saying. I was like, wait a minute. This watching Huda tap dance for Chris while Sierra is throwing her monkey at oh boy to make sure that they lock
Yeah.
it in after Iris said, "You don't think it's crazy that your man was sound kissing?" Now, speaking of manipulation tactics,
Mm.
what do you think about the fact that we all believe that Nick backed off when he realized that Olandria was stuck on Taylor and that he actually was just being gracious even though he wasn't being authentic? Because when Sierra came back, there's still shots of how he looked while she was kissing his neck.
Let me tell you, I had them going all the way to the finals. Nicolandria was supposed to win
Yeah,
this season,
yeah.
because both of them denying there was no spark. They're lying
Lies.
to themselves. Both of them are lying.
Yep.
They're lying to protect Sierra, and they're lying to protect Taylor. Both of them are
I,
lying.
I think Olandria is lying because she doesn't want to get death threats. I think Olandria knows that she can't go against Sierra and win in America's eyes, and she will be called a bedwench and all types of crazy. Like I think
I don't
Sierra.
know. I think Nicolandria, if they would have, I think like,
No, she doesn't
oh,
know that. I'm
oh
saying
yeah,
we know
yeah,
that.
yeah,
I think
yeah,
that in the
exactly.
same way that when Huda started crying, she immediately knew she had to apologize because America was gonna rip her a new asshole.
Yeah, yeah.
I think because she thinks America loves Sierra and Nick, she doesn't want to be seen as the Black Jezebel breaking them up, and she doesn't want the villa to cannibalize her. So it's one of those things of even if I do like you, I can't say it 'cause I'm gonna get dragged left and right.
Listen, listen. That man had Tim's. He had the chain.
Like,
He
yep,
had
Cuban
the
link it too.
goatee. He had the look in his eyes.
Yo, the look in his
He
eyes.
had when he was disassociating after that kiss.
Yeah, the
He
glimmer.
was like the glimmer. It was like, this is happening. It feels amazing. I want it to happen. Oh, fuck. They're going to be so hurt, but I want it to happen again. To the, you're
Had she
cold.
fought for it,
Take
yeah,
my t shirt. Like,
yeah,
that was supposed to, we've had Pancake Gate twice. We've
yeah,
had Nicolandria once.
yeah.
How do we
I
have
love
Pancake Gate twice?
I love when your husband put in his thing. He was like, "We need to get rid of the pancake mix at the villa because
For
it
real.
clearly it is causing problems."
This is why they have avocado toast. Like, they're not supposed
Yeah.
to have pancake mix. Like, it's dumb.
Well, they said that they only breakfast is the only meal they're allowed to have on camera, which is why we
Yeah,
get so much pancake stuff. I will say
yeah.
this is that knowing how do I say it? Watching the show and knowing what I think they're assuming versus what's actually happening and how they're guessing incorrectly is part of the problem with this season. Everybody's trying to produce the
Yeah,
show while being in the show.
right. Like,
It
and
started with
that's,
Ace.
yes. And that's like, I talked to one of my friends who works with someone from last season, right?
Hmm.
And that's part of the problem is last season was so successful because it was genuine, from the love connections to the friendship connections. Like, that was genuine, and that's why last season was so successful. Like,
Hmm.
this season, the cast is trying to produce it. No, just fucking be there and be in love and find real connections, whether it's platonic or for love. Like, quit trying to fucking produce a show. Just let it happen. Like,
Yeah, it's nasty
you're
work.
you're ruining it for everyone, yourselves and us.
I'm a little bit I'm not taken aback. I think that the reason why Nick asked Sierra to close things off was because the show ends next Friday or Saturday, whatever day it is next week. And he just wants to win.
And because Elan, what the hell is his name?
Yeah, I think he wants
He's
to
in
win.
there.
He wants to
Yeah.
win. So Elon, let's talk about the winning aspect. I don't think it's funny that as Nick is feeling disrespected by Elon, the Zionist,
Hmm.
suddenly now he wants to commit to the girl that he was looking disassociated from in a bad way the day before. Competitive.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
the same fucking Ace who said, I love a competition is now upset because Shelly kissed Chris twice during a challenge. I think both of them do not care about the women in front of them. They care about beating other men.
But if Ace really cared, he could have locked it down too.
Yep.
But what, like, it's still a game. Like, lock it. Oh, I don't want to lock it down because he's in here. Well, you still have to win money at the end of the day, right? Like,
I
what
think
do you
this
do?
happens in real life though too. I mean, I know you've been married for like forever, but I think in real life there's some women who want certain guys because they want to beat the girl he's also considering, not because
Yeah.
they actually like him. They're like, oh, she likes
Yeah.
him too. Fuck her, fuck that bitch.
Yeah, right, exactly.
I don't think they actually like the women that they're with. And what makes me really, really sad about the show is there were so many opportunities for real connection and ego keeps winning.
It's like Nicolandria.
I'm stuck on the I actually last night fell asleep watching Nick Landria edits.
I do too, with my little feet kicking in the air like him. His face is in the pillow, feet were kicking in the air. He has never smiled that big in his life.
I feel triggered by Nicolandria because I think I mentioned this before. There are several relationships I had that really could have gone the distance and our their friends ruined it. So as somebody who has consistently missed out on love because of people's fucked up hating ass friends, it triggers me in a way that I don't like. I also want to talk about the thing about respect, right? Been this theme, this episode in particular, episode 25, around what is respectful and what's not. Do you think that respect is something that you can ask for in a game like Love Island.
I mean, I think so.
I
Yes,
think so too.
I
But
think so.
they're acting like everybody keeps acting like it's fair game. I feel like you can have a gentleman's agreement about how to move and then follow
Yes.
that within yourself.
I think Love Island UK does a pretty good job of being like, hey, bro, I'm just letting you know I'm pulling her for a chat. Like, hey, bro, I'm just letting
Yeah.
you know. Like, hey, bro, I'm just letting you know. Like, hey, I took her upstairs I kissed her upstairs on the terrace. Like, there's a respect thing that can be done.
I'm gonna be curious about the episode that's coming up, which I think is gonna be the male episode. Now, here's the thing I don't like. Usually, when they do male, it's social media. Why do they have pictures of them going to mailboxes if they're gonna be writing the questions?
I don't know. I thought it was a mail, like you're putting in an envelope to send someone home. That's what I was hoping.
No, we all thought tonight was gonna be the Twitter challenge. The because they always do a Twitter
Right,
mail challenge.
right. Yeah,
I thought we were going to be talking about the Twitter challenge, and now they've made it
same.
tomorrow. So I guess we'll talk about it next week. But if the video that they had of them going to the mailboxes means that they've taken it away from America and they're going to be asking each other's questions, I might actually throw my phone at the wall.
Because they don't want to really know what we've been saying.
They should. Like, what do you think is going to be Olandria's reaction when she realizes that she fumbled her entire game being dedicated to Taylor?
I don't know. Andrea.
I've been on
Oh,
Landria before, and so watching how horribly cringe and frustrating it is to watch somebody else do it, I'm like,
mm.
oh my God, I think you just cured me. I will never be. Because what happens is, here's the thing that people don't understand. This is the part that we're all missing. The fact that everybody in the house is saying they thought Olandria and Taylor were the strongest couple means she's not delusional in the sense of it's a one-sided thing. He's lying to
Right.
her.
He's lying to her. Hmm.
And
Yep.
I really think it's unfair that in us calling her Delulu, we keep forgetting for everybody else to believe it, he must be
He had
lying.
to have been. Right. Right. Yep.
He even said that my head wants you, but my gut wants her. You know, your dick wants her. Your
Right.
head wants to
Gut.
win up to $100,000, but your
Right.
penis wants the girl you're actually. What do we think about the mean girl allegations against Clark?
I I agree.
She's a stank
I
bitch.
agree. Yeah, she is. From that little smirk to her even like mocking her, like, good morning, Islanders. Like, girl, you don't even know her. Why are you mocking her? She just walked in the villa. Like, why are you being mean? Like, there's no reason for it.
In stark comparison, Coco was on After Sun. You know, I hate After Sun, but I wanted to see what
Yeah,
Coco had to say. And she was like, Coco is what Clark should have done. Coco was like, no, Shelly is gorgeous. And I
yep,
totally see why her and Ace have a connection. And
yeah.
yeah, I'm a bad bitch too. If I had been there 3 weeks earlier, I would have bagged him.
I want Coco somewhere else. Coco deserves to be somewhere on another show. She deserves something. Coco was great. I loved Coco.
But the fact that they didn't choose her to be part of the original cast instead of
Yeah,
Shelly, I wonder if there was a coin toss. Because they're clearly the same demographic.
maybe,
They're the
maybe.
exact same art, like
Exactly.
Olandria,
Yeah.
Shelly, and Coco all wore the same dress. For a second, I was like, is this the same bitch 3 times? Like, what's happening? I
Exactly.
was so confused.
Copy
I,
paste, copy paste, copy paste dress
Webbings.
everything.
It was like three
Yes,
different fonts. I was like, what is
yes,
happening?
exactly,
One's italic,
exactly.
one's bold, one's underlined. I was like, what is happening? It's the same bitch 3 times. All gorgeous, but
Oh,
like, wait, what?
damn. They're so beautiful.
What do you think about Ace finally letting his red pill mask fall off in tonight's episode and doing the thing that all red pill men do, where they have a double standard and then they stoically act as if you're being unreasonable for not falling for it?
Oh,
Oh, have you
oh.
ever experienced that ploy of I'm gonna have a double standard, and if you don't fall for me trying to pull that off, you're gonna act like I'm being unreasonable because I didn't fall for it?
Yes.
How dare you not fall for it? Because I can see the fuck.
Right. Excuse
Ugh.
me?
He threw coke on her face like, "Yo, I let go of a really good connection for you." No, you didn't. You weren't
No,
gonna
you
pick Coco because
didn't.
you wanted to win. You were never gonna pick Coco. You were never
Never.
gonna pick her.
Mm-mm. Nope.
And now Amaya and Zach has now become the default setting because we're just like, hey, we just don't want Huda to get it or
But
Ace
you know what's sad is like
or Taylor.
all of Huda's little hood rat fans. I mean, all of her fans are just
The
gonna,
Huda Rats. We're gonna start calling them the Huda Rats.
all of her fans are just gonna vote for her, and it's like that's the only way to get her out of the villa is the villa has to vote her out. Like we
Yeah.
cannot get her out because she has so many fans that just like don't, they have rose colored glasses on or they just lack something.
I think honestly, I think all her fans are people who are young and harboring bias that they don't are not cognizant of,
Yeah,
and or who are just nasty mean girls just like her.
yeah, totally.
Yeah, I think half of them are being fooled, and the other half of them are shitty people just like her.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Here's the thing that always makes me nervous about women, and it's the reason why I only tend to be really close with women who are like me. Like women
Hmm.
who are really direct and tomboyish in the way that they think, even though they're girly in presentation,
Hmm.
tends to be like kind of like my sweet spot for female friends. I know a lot of Aries, child. If I have to make one more Aries friend, I swear to God. Look, not look at you. Oh shit, yeah, you're Aries too. Fuck, I forgot. There's so many Aries. I'm getting tired.
We're the
I remember
best.
today. I've only talked to you, Bridget, and Kendall, all Aries. I'm tired. It's so much Aries around me. Best friend of 24 years, Aries. It's a thing, and it tends to be in particular the first like 10 days of April in particular.
Hmm.
But like here's the thing. I am having to make peace with the fact that a lot of women think that just because a woman's behavior is familiar, that it's okay.
Hmm.
No, you're both fucked up.
Yeah, exactly.
Just because Huda is relatable doesn't mean she doesn't suck. You just suck too.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
I need to
Listen,
breathe. Who do
exactly.
we think is going to get voted off next? 'Cause I'm really annoyed that there's so many extra couples left in the game.
I hate, I don't, what happens when there's so many? Because usually from Casa, sometimes there are a ton of couples, right?
Yeah,
What
this gonna
usually
be a mass
happens?
killing. Usually what happens with Casa is there's not this many couples. This is the most couples I've ever seen in a Casa. This feels like more than usual. But
Okay.
they usually do like a double elimination
But
where
this
it's
is gonna, yeah, go ahead, sorry.
no, it's usually like a rapid fire. Like it's usually like rapid fire eliminations, like, hey, two couples are leaving tonight. I need it to happen now.
Hmm. That's what I thought they were putting in the mailbox. Like, who do we want going home? And then it's like people pick two couples, and then the most people, that's like eight couples, and they all vote them off.
Do you think that Ace is gonna realize that despite his tantrum, he has to make up with Shelly to have a chance at winning?
Hell yeah. Mr. Producer himself, please.
A part of me is wondering if he intentionally pretended to be more mad he was so that he could have a story arc like Serena and Cordell.
Please. Yes, of
I
course.
was like, maybe
100%.
he's not really upset. He's just doing this because he wants them to have an up and then a
A
down.
hundred per. He is. What's the word I'm looking for? He's what
A
is it?
maestro. He's a maestro. He's a
Yeah, he
Geppetto.
knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. He's playing
He's pulling the
us.
strings.
Yeah, he don't care. Allegedly,
Oh, that
they've been
sucks.
married for 2 years.
Well,
Allegedly,
well they've been dating. She's not married.
someone said they've been married.
Well, you know things evolve. Her team has come out like, no, she does not know this man. She met him once at a club in New
Yeah, I
York, and
believe
that's
that
it.
though. I believe
Yeah.
that. I do believe that. I don't
I will
believe
say
that they've been
this.
married.
If you had to put aside your personal feelings and your morals
No.
and think like this fucked up country that we live in, which notable names do you think would be in the top three couples on finale night? Let's do some predictions because we're going to be talking post finale night. So let's see how close we are.
Off like votes. Sierra and Nick. Mm, um, Amaya maybe,
Mm-hmm.
and I would say Shelly and Ace, but I don't know after tonight how people are going to vote for her because she got really low in the polls. Um, yeah, I'm just going to go with those three.
So you think it's Sierra and Nick, Shelly and Ace, and then Amaya and whoever she's with?
Yeah, yeah.
I think that I have the same list, and I'm worried about Huda
But
somehow finessing her way and pushing Shelly and Ace out, or pushing Amaya out. No, not Amaya. Amaya's number one because she's everybody's default setting. I
Mm-hmm.
think that Huda cannot beat the Nick and Sierra safety net
Mm-hmm.
or the Amaya safety net. And ironically, I think Huda might have assessed that Shelly and Ace are in her way, and that's why she's being such a harbinger of chaos with them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I agree with you.
I would be surprised if both Huda and Shelly make it into the final three. I think it's one or the other. I think Shelly was saving Ace, and now because Huda's turned Shelly into the angry black woman, now Ace is saving Shelly.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
I cannot say this enough. If you are a person of color, all it takes is the wrong white presenting friend to fuck your shit up. And there's levels to this, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I think the fact that Huda is an insta baddie prototype who cries a lot and is Muslim, which is not a very popular demographic that we see on these shows. And I think having an Iranian girl be a top three last year is why the Muslim community was just brought on. So they want to protect their own. I think the amount of toxic insta baddies, young girls who just think she looks like a Kardashian's leftovers, um, just black women hating men who want to fuck her, and like folks who fall for it, folks who actually think that she sincerely is a nice girl. I think the stupidity of it all. I'm worried about another Kamala versus Trump happening with Huda and Shelly.
Yep.
Do we think there's any hope that Huda will be gotten rid of before the finale?
Listen, the villa has fucked over our voting system time and time again. We have laid it up for them twice,
Yeah.
thrice, maybe even thrice,
Yeah.
and they have fucked us. So at this point, she
Bro,
has.
you don't think the girls turning on Huda because the girls have Shelly's back? You don't think the girls being tied up Huda might help?
I hope so. I really do. Now, maybe, yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe now that they've seen enough of Huda, and maybe now because even when Alandrius got up from Huda today and was like, "Oh, you're not a bad person, but you did go too far," and she just stood up and walked away.
And Huda was like, "That's so mean," and started bust out crying. How is that mean? That was the most benign milk toast under.
But she called her mean on day 3 when she started crying. Okay, you know what? Okay, let's
The
not.
way
Let's
that Huda is quick to call black women mean whenever
mean.
they simply point out without any inflection that she's behaving badly is so fucking racist.
You can't. Oh, I was about to go really deep right
No,
now, but
say it,
you
please.
can't love someone's culture and you can't try to take from the culture and you can't try to do all of these things. But if the second someone from that culture tries to check you or say something nice to you, that's the problem. No, babe, I'm sorry. That's not how it works.
I Somebody wrote on Threads yesterday that Huda is the kind of woman who lusts after black men and feels superior to black women while acting like one.
Yes, 100%. No, 100%.
She and the amount of little black girls who don't read this because they're only 16, 17, they don't know any better, who are like, no, Shelly's so mean. I can't believe she's doing this to Huda. I'm like, oh honey, she would do it to you too.
Mm-hmm.
You're like Django Unchained. You literally put a
Mm-hmm.
master to your bosom, not knowing that you would be next
Mm-hmm.
hoe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think Huda is a misogynist first. She's a pick me first and a racist
Mm-hmm.
second.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think
Mm-hmm.
all bitches, to use her language, could get it.
Mm-hmm.
But black bitches in particular, if that makes
Mm-hmm.
sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like both of us will still get cussed out by her. She might just yell
Mm-hmm.
at me. She might yell at me a little bit louder. But we both getting cussed out though.
Mm-hmm.
Iris is a bitch, but Alandria is a mean
Mm-hmm.
monkey, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
everybody's in trouble, but it's just a little bit worse. I honestly, I think last week you said that you were hoping that Huda would evolve, and I said I think the fuck not. What are your thoughts this week?
I said I hope she evolves when she gets out the villa.
Yeah, what do you think? Yeah, what are your thoughts this week?
She is going to evolve as in like she'll probably get a better job in like LA as a stripper.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
A midnight ballerina.
yeah, and like
Mm-hmm.
that's the only evolving I see.
I see Huda becoming more nasty and playing victim more cleverly when she
Mm-hmm.
realizes that she's an anti-hero for toxic people who also are
That's
anti-black.
yeah, because you learn. Learn.
I'm gonna say this one right now. I think Huda is an anti-black pick me anti-hero.
Hmm.
We know the anti-hero trope from like Deadpool and movies like that, where he's
Mm-hmm.
an asshole, but we love him.
Yeah.
She's the anti-hero for the anti-black pick-me's of the world. That includes other black people. You don't have to be non-black to be anti-black. Can we keep it a fucking stack? So anybody who's anti-black and in any way loves pick-meism is going to naturally feel bad for Huda and want to protect her from all the big bad feminists who have the audacity to be like, girl, not too much.
Mm-hmm.
Olandria is a soothsayer when it comes to other people's business because Olandria clocked in the first 72 hours what we all eventually found out.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think will still be friends? I'm essentially doing predictions. I know that we're about 10 days out from the
10 days out.
finale. So I want to see
Crazy.
like who do you think will still be friends when the dust clears and they've watched the tapes? Because
Probably
Jeremiah is in love with the fact that he's a star. Jeremiah just found out that we love him and he is losing. It is so adorable. Like, oh, you love me? I'm cute.
oh, the little nerd. How
He
cute.
really is a nerd.
I think like Shelly and Alandria for sure. Sierra maybe, maybe not with them.
Oh,
Uh,
pause for a second. While you said Sierra, I almost forgot to read. Did you see the message that Sierra's friend who's running her account wrote?
mm-mm.
Okay. Sierra Ortega's official account that is being run by a friend of hers who clearly likes to drink wine and has no fucks to give. On the night that Nicolandria was revealed, she wrote, and I quote, last night hard launched my villain arc. This is Sierra's best friend. Yes, mine, not Sierra's. Sierra is way too cool, calm, and collected to have one of those. I, on the other hand, well, let's just say I don't possess the same poise and etiquette that our princess does. That's why she's on TV and I'm cackling over my laptop, writing Sierra and Shelly fan fiction in my bed. A girl can dream. Am I surprised that mommy's little meatball, i.e., Nick, has kissed yet another girl in the villa? No. I've known since episode 2 that this meatball turns his head towards any shiny thing that walks by. He's a Pisces. Wow, he's a Pisces. That should say a lot. Maybe she'll find out that Casa Cutie with the curls is actually the most compatible for her. Or maybe Sierra and Shelly will ride off into the sunset together holding hands, realizing that no man is worth the trouble. Yes, I know I'm delusional. All I want is for Sierra to follow her heart, trust her gut, and know that I'll be waiting here on the outside with hugs and a plan to extradite mommy's little meatball from whatever country he decides to go into hiding after he exits the villa. As Liam Neeson has said in the movie Taken, actually, my lawyer has advised me against saying that part. Anyways, talk to you tomorrow if I'm not already on a flight to Fiji. XOXO.
Not her shipping Shelly and Sierra.
She said, fuck Nicolandria. I'm with C. Sierra.
That's what everyone else is saying too. We want them together too.
I know Shelly's by. Is Sierra by?
Yeah. Well, I don't know, but what didn't you send me something like? Isn't that one of the things how we can get Nicole and Andrea back together? Was that?
No, here was my original plan. My original plan was that they were all going to go back in the house, and somehow Elon was going to apply pressure and lure away old girl, and then Taylor was going to be lured away by old mean face, who looks like
Mm-hmm.
Taylor with the wig on. She looks just like Taylor. They look
They're
like brother
twins.
and sister.
They're
It's
twins
really
for
kind of
sure.
weird.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, Olandria would be consoled by Nick, who just lost to Sierra to Elon, and they would end up together while being friends, holding each other.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
But
No.
unfortunately, Eli, being a man pulling his dick out, said, "Oh, now it's your turn to watch." After he kissed Sierra, and that's the only reason Sierra has a boyfriend now.
Have you seen Elon's Instagram?
Well, I know he's a Zionist, and his Instagram is all a bunch of weird poems.
Well, no, someone went into his Instagram and was like changing all of his captions,
To what?
like crazy stuff about him being in the villa.
Yeah, it was a bunch of weird poems. They were all written
Oh,
like porn poem format. It was like weird
oh,
poetry.
oh! I didn't know it was poems. I thought it was like one of them was like about him waiting patiently for her and how he was a gentleman and like I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like bad Shakespeare. It was just I said, I don't know what this is, but I don't know what kind of sonnet this is. I don't want to finish this. It was like a haiku wrapped in an enigma. It was bad. Look,
Wrapped
I'm
in an
starting to feel
enigma.
like and here's the thing. Nick likes black people a lot.
Yes.
He's a YN. And the more he really likes Alandria.
Listen, listen. He said, "Oh, we doing what tonight?"
There's
Listen,
no there's a reason
he
why his
said,
mama is not tripping about Alandria coming home.
"Listen, there is a reason why his mama was still shipping them. Like, I see this being a thing. There was a spark. I saw it. I saw that
All
look in
right.
my son's eyes."
Let's manifest real quick. I want to be a little demonic in the good way and manifest what I want to happen. I want Shelly and Olandria to stay friends and for
Yes.
Shelly to break up with Ace if they get back together to win the show.
Hmm.
And for Sierra to be so disgusted by Nick that she leaves him alone.
Hmm.
And for Olandria and Sierra to have a Brandy and Monica situation of we ain't got no beef, but it's weird for us to be friends and for Nick and Olandria to actually have sex so Olandria can just get the affirmation that she needs. And then she breaks up with Nick and finds it like a rich like millionaire to take care of her.
Wait, really quick. What do you think is going to happen when they show the kiss on movie night?
At this point, they failed us so much. I'm worried we're not even gonna get a kiss on movie night. I don't trust the producers anymore. There are so many things that are obvious production plays that should be happening that are not happening because production's doing weird shit like a telenovela. So if they show it, I
Not a
hope they show it
telenovela.
properly. It really is. It's like Telemundo. Like, oh, gasp in Espanol. Like, it's really stupid. Like, I'm so mad. Sorry, my accent almost came out. So sorry.
He said, gasp en español. Ay,
Like, seriously, I get so
Gina.
mad. Oh my God. Like, here's the thing, right? I actually think that sometimes production does movie night in the wrong direction in the UK. There've been a couple of UK movie nights where what they showed actually helped the wrong person out. And so I'm so nervous that's gonna happen. In the same way that the Jeremiah vote accidentally helped Huda.
Hmm.
I pray to God the same production that gave us Nicolandria gives us one more solid. Like, yo, just give us we've had two pancake gates and one Nicolandria, like Monique just said. Give us one more satisfying moment to pull us back in. I don't mind an intervention at this point because you've intervened so much and ruined it. Fix it. Fix what you broke. Who do you think is going to be the person who? Actually, I already know the answer to Maya. The dark horse is Amaya.
Yeah.
I couldn't stand Amaya when I thought that she was going to come in between
Same.
Shelly and Ace, but then I realized that she was just mentally like disabled, and now I'm just like,
Wait, when they kissed her and her fucking shoes came off, I died. Not y'all kissing her so hard. Y'all kissed her out her fucking shoes like she was the Wicked Witch of the West. And I died.
what's the one that she always says? Legitimately, Lily. What's the one she always says? It's like too
Uh,
many L's.
gr- uh, uh,
Literally.
Gertrudely, yes, she had
I
a
want
lot of.
to. I want a diagnosis. Can I be honest? I really want to diagnose. I just want her to be freed and to know what she has. She's a nurse. I want her to find out what she has, have some context for. It's not being Dominican. I know black. It's not being Dominican. Okay, I have 6 Dominican brothers and sisters. I have Dominican in my. It's not her being Dominican. That is something else. On behalf of the Dominican Association, that is not what it is. Every time she bites her tongue and says something wild, oh, you know she's just Dominican, and the Dominicans are like, I beg your pardon. You speak it like the fuck. That ain't got shit to do with people like us. So I want to know what Amaya has though.
She
Do you
just
think that maybe she? I'm always gonna say, is it the tism? She's not level one. If she's the tism, it's like level two above. Is it is she has something,
does.
or do you think she's just ditzy?
It could be a little bit of both.
Because ditzy doesn't mean stupid. Because you can't be stupid
No,
and be a nurse, right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
ditzy doesn't mean stupid. It just means that
Mhm.
you like Rose from the Golden Girls.
Yeah. I mean, maybe, she's just a little, the way she says things like, oh, yeah, like when she said I talk Spanish and Pepe said, you speak Spanish?
Oh Jesus Christ. There's other Spanish people who are equally confused. I'm telling you, this is not cultural, guys. Okay? Because Adriana has said like 3 words in English the entire time, and I still understand her.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Adriana
yeah,
is fresh off the proverbial boat. I'm saying that as an immigrant, so don't get mad at
yeah,
me.
yeah,
No problems.
yeah, yeah.
Pepe's name is Pepe. Like he's not even trying. No problems. So this is not a Spanish thing. I need to know what's happening with the Maya.
Yeah, yeah, our little Amaya
She,
papaya.
she does need to calm down though, because she's definitely neurodivergent because her emotional regulation is non-existent. Every time
No,
something happens, no,
no,
why are you doing it? Don't take her about my papa. Like it's always like
yeah,
Orphan Annie.
yeah.
They say
Orphan
that
Annie.
there's therapists allegedly, before you go on the show. I don't believe them.
There's supposed to be
They
allegedly someone there while you're on the show.
I don't believe it. Nothing
Allegedly.
about this says there's an on-site therapist.
No. If it is,
I,
I hope next time they hire me, I'll be the on-site therapist.
I'll be a
Hello?
coach. I'll be an
Right?
emotional intelligence coach.
You need me to take notes.
Please. And
Yeah.
also too, I will say thank God the girls have started blending their makeup because there's so many side angles of the girls where the blush and the contour are fighting each other.
They're in a battle.
You're a professional makeup artist. So if I was looking, the door challenge when Shelly's face was looking down, waiting to see if Ace came through,
Oh, yeah.
the hard line.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and they're not realizing it's the heat too. So it's like you can't, you
Monique,
gotta do a summer beat,
the heat blends. That
but
it
they're
was
trying to
stuck.
do a full beat in the heat. And it's like, baby, you can't. You gotta, yeah, yeah. And
The
yeah.
lack of blending in the of the makeup. One thing
Mhm.
I would say about Clark is Clark knows how to blend. That's the one. If I had a gun to my head to say one nice thing about Clark, she blends. I have not seen a hard cheek line the entire
No, I
96
haven't.
hours she's been there. So I'll give her. She's a
Mm-mm.
mean bitch who looks like a tailor in a wig, but the bitch can blend,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Oh, if we just say one nice thing about everybody, no, let's not do that. Let's play that game and we see who wins. All right, Monique, are there any last things you want to say before we go? Because at,
Oh,
at this point, I'm sad that we're doing this before the mail challenge. I really wanted us to talk about the fucking mail
I
challenge.
know. Maybe we'll come back and do like an extra episode after the
Yeah,
mail
because
challenge.
I want to know what happens when either the movie night or the mail challenge happens. That's what the tea's gonna be when they find
Yeah.
out what America's actually thinking. Because Huda already thinks America hates her, and that's why she's acting like this, right?
But do you think that they're gonna just fucking pull all of her in, make it seem like everyone just likes her? Like, cause that's not true either.
What are you watching right now aside from Love Island? Let's end on a high note because Love Island's pissing
I'm
me off.
watching The Bear. The Bear just came back on
Yay.
FX. Love it. Season 4. I'm watching 90 Day Fiance just ended. I'm wrapping that up this week. I'm watching what else just ended? I'm watching some cooking shows. I'm about to watch that show you just sent me because
Smothered.
that's interesting.
Please watch season 5 of
That's
Smothered so we can have a conversation about it.
that's that's ooh,
For those
baby.
of you who want to watch along, who just want to be part of our gang, I don't want to call it a girl gang because I don't want to sound like girl. But we're going to be watching season 5 of a TLC show called Smothered. I think it's available on Amazon Prime. You can just get a free trial of Discovery or whatever channel it's from, and then after 7 days, delete it. That's what I'm about to do. So I
Mm-hmm.
just started my free 7 day trial today. I'm gonna
Mm-hmm,
watch
mm-hmm,
all the episodes.
mm-hmm.
Episode 5, season 5 is the season where the premise is people who have unnaturally close relationships with their mothers. That's the whole premise of the show. So it's called Smothered, but the S is lowercase because it's actually mothered with a small case s, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's all people who have inappropriate relationships with their mother. One
Mm-hmm.
of them is a woman whose husband has an inappropriate relationship with her mother.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's convinced that her mother's fucking her husband. I'm gonna
That's
ask
it.
Monique, just watch season 5. Do a 7 day trial because I would like for us to talk about it because Smothered is one of those shows where because you're married and I'm not, I think it'd be interesting from between a single and a married person's perspective. I feel like we're gonna have the exact same point of view though, so I actually don't think that matters. I want you to watch Smothered with the mindset of how would you feel if this was Richard and your mother. Monique's face is doing lots of things. On that note, Monique, tell people where they can find you.
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram and Threads at Monique Nevels. Yeah.
And guys, Love Island is a social experiment that teaches us about the current state of human nature. So it's not just a frivolous show, it's us learning about how good or bad things have gotten. And it's not good.
No, it's in the shitter.
All right. I love y'all. Monique, I'm gonna stay
Yes,
on
love
after
that.
this. I'm gonna
Yeah.
do a end record. Oh, where's the button? Oh God, I sound like an auntie. Now where's the button? All right, guys. Love y'all so much.
Okay,
Bye.
bye. Love you. Not
Uh
where's the end record. You